This is Omar Ahmed for IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. September the 10th, we finally have a fight between Savannah Marshall and Claressa Shields. I'm joined by Johnny Nelson. You guys at Sky and all boxing fans must be ecstatic about this, Johnny.
Yeah, without a doubt. I'm looking forward to the card. Calan Dubar just walking in there. It's going to be an interesting card. It's going to be a twist to the whole card. We'll have to wait and see for him to blow that one up out of the water and let everybody know about that.
You're making your return, is that the twist?
Oh no, it's a good historical twist. And we did the gloves off with the girls yesterday. Fiery, interesting, intriguing. This will be a good fight, trust me, a good fight. And it's a good shout. I'm looking forward to it.
How big is this in the scale of your Canelo Golovkins, your Fury Whites, your Usyk AJs? Where does this lie in that land, Johnny?
Don't get twisted about what I'm saying again. But styles-wise, as in boxer, an aggressive fighter, it's a female version of, I'd say, I know I'm going to get some shit for it, I'd say a Mini Hearns and Leonard, 1981. And I thought, and I'm saying that because of the style of fight. I'm saying that for the character of fight. I'm saying that for how this fight will explode out. Now, Claressa wears her heart on her sleeve. She's going to be on it. She's not going to be able to accept any kind of second place with all this. So I know for Savannah is on this. If you saw when the gloves are off, yes, it was bad. So when that's aired, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Johnny, you need to go on Sky, so we'll pick this back up, all right? Just picking this back up with Johnny, you said that you potentially could get a lot of shit for a fight that you were comparing Shields Marshall. So I think you said Leonard and Hearns, I think you referred to. I couldn't hear you up there.
I'm talking about styles, I'm talking about hunger of fighters. I don't mind, I can take the heat. What I'm saying is you've got two female equivalents of that in world boxing, in women's boxing. You've got to just look at the style of fighters. You've got to look at where they are in their career. You've got to look at the success and the situation, what they've created. So you've got to give these ladies credit, man. You know, this will be a wicked fight. You have levels. You know, you've either got top level or bottom level for now, and these two are top tier fighters, and it'll be intriguing to say the least.
What did you make of the presser?
I think both fighters stood their corner, wasn't taking any flack, wasn't taking any stick. I think you've just seen two fighters that believe they are the best in the world, and that's it. Claressa, you know, her cherry on top of the cake was, look at all the belts I've got. I think she identifies herself from the belts she's got, not as a fighter she is, because she's a good fighter. Savannah's saying, yeah, and they'll be mine. You know, it's about me beating you, not. You know, I'm not bragging and boasting about the belt I've got. I've got your number. It reminds me of James DeGale and George Groves. George beat James in the amateurs. Both fighters turned pro. James did amazing things in the pros, and thought it's a done deal now. Things have changed. That won't happen again. And he just couldn't get his head around the fact that George seems to always have his number. It's Savannah Claressa's bogeyman, and she got a number. Will she always have a number? And if you can't accept that, if you can't swallow it and say to yourself, you know what, you know, I've got to give respect where it's due. You're always going to come off second place, and that the way Claressa's talking, if it's not all talk, I think she's going to make the same mistake again. She needs to get in there and respect Savannah, and respect what she's capable of bringing to the table.
Well, we'll find out what happens September 10th, live at the O2 and live on Sky Sports. Johnny, I've seen you maintain your feeling that Alexander Usyk is an average southpaw.
Is this causing that much grief? I keep having the same argument. Who was ahead on points up to that point? Who was ahead on points between the two of them when they fought? And I've given you three fighters that when you think of southpaw, you think, damn. Pelon Whitaker, Naz, Manny Pacquiao. You look at the style these guys fought, they are so unpredictable, so hard to pin down. Usyk's a good fighter, come on. He's still
great, surely.
He's a good fighter. But, you know, were the likes of Tyson Fury beating? I believe so. Is it an impossible win for Anthony Joshua? No, it's not. I think Usyk is going to earn his stripes. and he's going to have to fight for that recognition and respect from the world. He's a brilliant fighter, but I am not going to get carried away with the sheep and say, nah, he's the dog. I'm not going to do that. I say what I see.
But how can you say someone who's travelled to people's away territories, become undisputed at cruiserweight on a sensational run, considered up there after Canelo lost to Bivol as pound for pound number one potentially, and then becomes heavyweight world champion within no time? How can it be average?
As a southpaw, you know what I'm saying? As a southpaw, when you're looking at southpaw style, that's what I'm saying. If you know your boxing, you know the technical side of boxing, you'll get where I'm coming from. If you're a sheep, then you're going to say, I can't believe he said that. So I get that. I leave with that ignorance. What I'm saying is, as a southpaw, he's an outstanding fighter. He's achieved outstanding things. As a southpaw, I've given you 3 southpaws that are outstanding. So Usyk's a good southpaw, and he knows what he's doing. He knows how to work it. He knows how, especially with being a big guy, he knows how to make the most of it. But come on, if you're going to talk facts, you're going to talk science. Come sit down with me. You
referred to the Bellew fight there, where you and many other people thought Bellew at that point was ahead on points. Yeah, I can't remember exactly my scorecard, but it was close.
You developed amnesia.
It was close. But would you not say his tactics, his pressure, then led to him brutally knocking out Tony?
Or would you have thought to yourself, Tony thought Coogan? Or would you?
He's saying Usyk's an average southpaw still.
Or would you have said that Tony actually lost belief in himself through the fight and let him pressure him? Tony had to just keep it up because what he was doing was working.
Why don't you go and ask Anthony Joshua if he's average southpaw then?
No. That's what I'm saying. Again, you're making the same ignorant point of view on it. What I'm saying to you is, as a southpaw, he's a good southpaw. You have outstanding southpaws. Pernell Whitaker, Manny Pacquiao, Prince Asim Hamid. These are retired good southpaws, outstanding southpaws. So what I'm saying to you...
Who's a better southpaw in world boxing than him right now?
Than him? As a southpaw? He's the best out there. As a southpaw?
How's the average?
Hold on. Tyson Fury. Southpaw and orthodox. Yo!
Yeah, but just because you don't believe he's at Tyson Fury's level doesn't mean he's average.
No, I didn't. But what I'm saying is, when I was comparing them and when we had the conversation, I said to you, look, this guy's a good southpaw. Don't think to yourself, oh my God, this guy's an outstanding southpaw. Because if you want to go historically, he isn't. And that's the fact. That's what it is. So we can say, all right, we can change the goalpost a little bit. We can always do that. We can always do things to suit. Let's talk fact. If you're going to talk boxing, let's talk boxing. I will stick to that. I don't sit down and have that argument with anybody. But then you're looking at southpaws. Why don't you think about Tyson Fury? Tyson Fury boxes southpaw and orthodox. So what does that say? So again, what I'm saying to you is, I didn't say he's a good southpaw, an outstanding southpaw.
Do you concede that he's a great and outstanding fighter?
Yes, he's an outstanding fighter. And I said that when he was 4 fights in as a professional. When I saw him sparring with Klitschko, I said this guy, compared to what's around, is the heir apparent compared to what's around. And these are the points. Look at the facts. The devil's in the detail.
All right, after all that, just last question. How much of a chance do you give Anthony Joshua in Saudi Arabia on August 20th?
I do give him a chance. People have written him off, and I'm like, why are you making that same mistake again? What are you thinking? Look at the two of them when he came out. Usyk looked like he'd been hit by a truck. Anthony Joshua tried to box Usyk's style of fight and came off second best. He didn't get stopped, he came off second best. He didn't take advantage of his size, his strength, and the success that got him there. If he goes in there to fight with the same tactics again, he loses. Fact. I don't think he does. I really don't think he does. So again, if you don't want to fall on your sword and you don't want to say what's in your head and say what you see, then don't be a sheep. But what I'm saying to you is, you've got to say what you see. Anthony Joshua, he has it within him to beat him, but this is a much harder rematch than the Ruiz fight. Much, much harder, but not an impossible task.
Interesting from Usyk at the London press conference when he was asked about Anthony Joshua, he's going to be different in this fight. He also said, I'll be different. What if it does become a firefight? Do you think that could potentially even play into Usyk's hands?
I don't think Usyk will be different. I think Usyk will polish what got him the win in the first place. Why change what's broken if something not broken? And again, I don't know if I said it to you last time. My only concern is the familiarity maybe it might be down to respect of how he's been brought up, but the familiarity and the comfort Anthony Joshua let Usyk feel in his presence at this stage. At this stage, when these guys are together, AJ needs to have this man feeling uncomfortable around him. Not comfortable. Not standing there taking selfies and, yo, we're all right, me and you. Nah, that's foolishness. Because basically he's giving Usyk exactly what he wants. He wants to be familiar. He wants to feel comfortable and relaxed. And this is just business. We're all right. We're good friends. I'm going to kick your ass in the ring. No, AJ needs to just change that, hold that up and say, right, we'll be friends afterwards. And I mean, when you're not around, when other cameras aren't around, when they're sat in the green room, he needs to ice this guy. He needs to just switch on him, just cut him off. Don't give him anything to feel comfortable at. Give him something to think about.
Would you have taken selfies with Marco Hook?
Pardon?
Would you have taken selfies with Marco Hook?
No. I just want to done it. That's what I'm saying. You look at fights back in the day. Again, I use the example. Roberto Duran against Sugar Ray Leonard in the first fight. Roberto Duran got in Sugar Ray's head from well before the fight. These guys started training for the fight to twist him up. Sugar Ray was mad. He came out box a completely different style than what he had. He learned his lesson in that fight. I go even further back and you look at Ali. Ali used to do it. I go even further back and you look at people like Jack Johnson. He even did it. You can see fights that did it. It's mental warfare as well as physical warfare. Boxing is not just about ding ding round one. It's about how you prep and how you beat your opponent. Well before a fight, Mike Tyson was king at it, and he'll tell you about what he did and he knew the effect it had on fights before. This is why fights. When you do your homework, fans, when you do your homework, you got to think. You know what? I kind of get that. I kind of get why you do that. It's common sense, but common sense ain't that common.
All right, Johnny, we'll leave it there. Thank you very much for your time, and we look forward to September 10th, a brilliant clash between Shields and Marshall. Thank you very much.
Sweet.
Welcome, Team Everlast, to the Team Everlast Fitness app. Download the Everlast Fitness app and find your greatness within.